This is it. Stop all the press. Your girl has some shit to say. Some of you may know me as Mahogany Stylez, the rapper, Mahogany Stylez, the boss, but this is Mahogany Stylez, the voice behind it all. I'm bearing it all, speaking my truth, whether who like it or not. I'm the princess of hip hop, raw and uncut and unfiltered. It's time to get vulnerable. It's time to get disruptive. It's time to connect. This is the Mahogany Stylez experience. I'm living it up. Either you hating, or faking, or grinding with us. Yes, what's good? I am the princess of hip hop, Mahogany Stylez. Welcome to the third episode of the Mahogany Stylez experience. If you're just getting familiar, welcome to my corner pocket of the universe. This is my opportunity to share my thoughts, get personal, and connect with you guys out there. Here on the Mahogany Stylez experience, we discuss everything from culture to music, entertainment, celebrity dish, health, wealth, business, you name it, we're here, we're talking about it. If you know me, you've connected with my brand at any point in any area, whether through music, whether through entertainment, through business, through a project or networking, then you know I like to keep my hands in a lot of pots. And so that's allowed me a lot of experiences over time. And the Mahogany Stylez experience is now my opportunity to share some of those experiences with you. For those of you who are tuned in, this is episode 3 of the Mahogany Stylez experience, and we are still on our series about the state of women in hip hop and hip hop culture. So this is our conclusion episode. I've got some super fire guests coming through tonight. I've got founder and rock rapper Flyucci, Heidi Flyucci in the building coming through. I've got Jenna Herche, artist manager, artist consultant, activist, actress. I've also got female rapper, female powerhouse by way of Atlanta, QNova, stopping through a little bit later on in the show. So with that being said, we're going to talk more on the state of women in hip hop. We're going to get connected. I'm going to pull in my girl Heidi Flyucci into the conversation to hear her thoughts on the state of women in hip hop. I'm going to pull Jenna into the conversation as well. So it's going to be lit. That being said, you guys, I got the opportunity to connect with my very first guest about a year ago. And it's funny because before the show and before we went live, we were just talking about how we are full circle and how we're a full circle moment. There we are. Now it's really the Mahogany Stylez experience. So I was just talking to my guest about how it's really been a full circle moment for us. And so much has changed in the world for both of us professionally and personally while we've been on our journeys, but just changed in the world just based on the state of things. But that being said, though, I want to introduce my very first guest to the show on tonight's episode of the Mahogany Stylez experience. Again, artist manager, artist consultant, actress, activist, influencer, Jenna Herche. You guys joining the conversation. Welcome, Jenna Herche, to the Mahogany Stylez experience. Yes.
How are you?
Hello, hello, Jenna. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you for having me. What's doing today?
Man, it's Thursday. I'm ready for episode 3. I'm excited to dive into this conversation with you and with Heidi and with QNova about the state of women in hip hop. I feel like I know that you're going to come to the table with a strong opinion as well. If you've been paying attention to the last couple of episodes, we've had some ladies on here with some real strong opinions. And I know that, number one, I know that you take hip hop culture very serious, and I know that you take it very personal. And I know that you and I can relate to one another with hip hop culture being very at the core of the things that we do. So I'm really interested to hear your take on what you think is the state of women in hip hop. But tell me, before we dive into all of that, tell me what you got going on, how you feeling. Tell us what you got going on.
It's funny. I just got back from Digging the Crate Studios. I was there for another project. Corey was in the studio, spitting. So it's always nice to be somewhere and hear a song that potentially is going to work. So that I know the lyrics before it comes out. So that's always nice. I'm picking back up with Split Star. Our show reconvenes in 3 weeks on S Street Media.
Okay, dope.
I'm shooting a couple of different things personally. Working on a project about my life, if you will.
Okay.
It's not about my life because no one cares, right? No one cares about you until you're famous.
Right? I give a fuck, but okay.
No, I appreciate that. And that's why I'm here with you. Our relationship is different than those consumers.
Right.
You spend money. So
Right.
it's about the buying demographic. No one cares about you, but if you make an interesting story about some loser and it's funny, it works. So that's the logic. That's what I'm working on right now.
Love it. Love it. What's it called?
I can't tell you because it really, and I'll speak to you behind the scenes, but there's different components to what I'm working on. So it's layers, if you will. And that's what it comes down to. It's being creative. I was home for 3 months and whereas I loved it, you know, a lot of people can't take that. They're like, oh my God, I need the action. I'm going to be 40 years old. I thank God I was able to travel. I've done the clubbing and thank God, because if I would have been in my early 20s and this would have hit right this second,
right,
where have I gone? So like, that's the only reason I'm okay with this. But you have to understand that is going to now have transitioned through everything. From clubbing, to music, to promotions, to any kind of live event, traveling. Managing Split Star is interesting because I have a couple of things, even though that, you know, people are not doing well with Corona, they still want not events. People are taping things.
Right.
They're using the downtime to tape.
Yeah.
So whereas he's not performing per se, he is. But the flying, you know, everything has to be so rigid. Really, like it's like now it's got to be first class. It's got to be like a certain time of the day where you know the plane's not going to. Whereas other times you can be flexible because you look at the whole budget. I'd rather put the money in my pocket than eat extra spicy peanuts on the fucking plane.
keep me a coach, please. Okay, cut that extra check. Okay.
I fight with artists all the time. I go, so let me get this right. So you're on the plane for 2 fucking seconds and you want. I will rub your back and coach.
Personally.
In any event, but that's what, you know, things are now going to change, not because of luxury. It's really because of a necessity. If you're having somebody travel 6 hours on a plane, no, we don't want to land 17 times in Chicago and Baltimore and Wyoming. I just want to get to Cali, right? So that's little things like that are going to have to change for everything, whether it's personal, vacation, business. So with that said, look at what we're doing right now. I'll come to Atlanta. Like, that's not a problem. What do you want to do? We can't do that because look what, now I could get on a Delta flight right now, round trip for $7.
right now with them prices so low. Holler at Forever
Yeah.
Escapes Travel Co for your travel needs. Shameless plug.
But that's what, thank you. So look what we're doing, and you've evolved. Even though this is episode 3 for you, people have been doing this for fucking years and they can't figure it out. Their show sucked anyway. So let's face it, nobody wants to come to hang out with you. So it's a little bit different. I think that people have no choice now but to do things on a virtual level. Yeah, and it's a matter of your fan base. And I saw your YouTube page. I am definitely a stalker, which is hence why I'm here. I think you have like 150 subscribers. That's a little bit impressive considering this is, you know what I'm saying? People have to think about that. Managing artists, they're like, yeah, you know, Jay, I got to get paid to perform. Perform for who?
I'm so glad, you're literally fucking reading my mind, Jenna. You're Heidi. When Heidi gets on here, she's gonna let you know and confirm that you're reading my fucking mind. We're gonna touch on some of these things tonight. We're talking the state of women in hip hop, and you're touching on some shit that we're absolutely gonna talk about tonight. Let me tell you about the mood and the tone for tonight, Jenna. And I saved my guests for the conclusion of the state of women in hip hop very strategically, and I saved you guys for the later portion of the conversation on purpose because I really wanted to dive a little bit deeper tonight on really not the lighter sides of what we've been talking about on the state of women in hip hop, but dive a little bit deeper. And I knew that you could take us there, and I knew that Heidi and also QNova could take us there for sure. So I want to open up the show with a topic that we haven't touched on yet in the series. And then, Jenna, I'm going to ask you if you've had any experiences that look like this at all, or what experiences might have looked like for you. I pride myself, for those of you who know me, I pride myself on my reputation. My worth ethic speaks for itself when you meet me. You usually get a clear understanding of who I am when you meet me, and when you understand who the facade is pretty right away when you make that first impression. Looks like we lost Jenna, but I'm going to keep telling the story or whatever, and Jenna's going to hop back on here. As soon as she hops back on, I'll pull her back into the conversation, but we keep it going, right? And so I try to, again, lead like that. I try to live my existence and my lifestyle as an entrepreneur, as an influencer, as an entertainment professional, I live my life and my lifestyle and create my career off of this very solid reputation. It looks like we lost you, but you popped right back on. So we're up through there.
I have a question though. It seems like it's a little, for me, it seems like you're delayed. It could be my service. That's why I want to know. So if that's the case, I'll go on.
It might be a lag. Work with me if there's a lag. I'm asking for your patience if there's a lag.
You have my patience. I just want to make sure it's not my service, because a bitch just paid a bill this morning. So if it's me, I need to understand.
What's really going on is you got to make a phone call. No, it's totally not you. It's totally not you. It might be on our end. Episode 3, we're still working through a couple of technical challenges, but it looks like we're a little bit more smooth sailing. So hopefully the Wi-Fi gods work in our favor and in our grace. Okay. So look, I'm telling us a story. I'm segueing into a little bit of a story here so I can preface my question for you. So with me priding myself on, my reputation and us knowing that the business, the entertainment business can be a very small circle, right? So reputation is everything. And I had an encounter as of yesterday, or over the last couple of weeks. I'll say that encounter's kind of been unfolding over the last couple of weeks with some artists that are newer to the entertainment industry. And there have been many opportunities where they've experienced teachable moments, and I watched them have teachable moments. And I had to ask myself, as a woman in the game, who's been in the game a while, was I riding them out of like pettiness and out of cattiness, or was there a standard, just an overall business standard that they were not living up to? And I realized that society has now trained us to check ourselves are we bringing our bitch to the table? If you have to stand up and assert yourself, is it a bitch thing? Is it a catty thing if you have to check another woman? So have you ever had any experiences in this business where cattiness between other women has become an issue, or was an issue for you at all in any capacity?
From that, because I do think it's breaking up. From what I got, you're asking about the cattiness in the industry?
Amongst women, however, though, have you had any personal experiences with women in the industry that either had you question if you were being catty, or you experienced cattiness in the entertainment industry?
What's unfortunate is I was a tomboy. I'm still a tomboy. So I always end up blending in more with men, which doesn't really make women happy, and that's not my problem. But because I was a tomboy and I played various sports and I was a captain on multiple teams, I've won state championships and different shit like that, I know you have to work as a team to win anything. Even if you're a boxer, you have to have somebody who you're sparring against who's going to make you better. So understanding that you require a team, you can't be but so catty, because women are the hardest working people I know. I mean, people like us have like kids, and we're back doing push-ups and running a company 3 weeks after the fact. So we're a special kind of individuals, women. Not everybody can deal with that. And some women are in it for the wrong reasons. And it takes a special individual anyway to be in entertainment, because again, circle is small. A lot of people don't have those I can never say this word. Interpersonal relationship, whatever the fuck skills.
Interpersonal skills, right.
People don't have, I can't say turquoise, I say turquoise. So I did do too. So when you have people who can't, when you look back, if you were in high school and you can't count 5 friends on your hands that you had in high school,
that was probably you, huh? You were the one. You're probably the common denominator.
People don't. You're probably the problem. So when you look at it, I'm okay. I don't need but more than 5 to 10 friends. I'm okay, because more people at dinner means that the tip is more, and then we have to, who's fighting over this shit. So it doesn't make sense. Women, and this is the other thing. I don't hate the fact that women versus women. How many times do you run into a female? Half the time you're dealing with men. And when you're running into a female, there should be some kind of understanding that everybody on our end is at some point going through prejudices or bullshit or sexual harassment. And it always drives me crazy when you hear about the sexual harassment on certain ends. I'm like, the sexual harassment in this industry is crazy. And
It's a
I
lot
know
of
because
sexual
I'm
harassment getting
I'm an
tossed
animal. I'm the
around.
problem. I have the. I'm joking, just for court cases on pending and records and shit like that. But in all seriousness, like history, there's so much going on when you have two females who come to path, and there's a common denominator. You should want to make it. That's just my 2 cents. Unless there's a previous situation that's personal. Things can't be personal in business. You shouldn't take things personal in business. And if you do, there's obviously a preface to that. So, I mean, I'll let you continue because I could be here all day with that shit. So, like, what's the next question?
No, so for me, like, business is never personal. And for me, business got personal last night. And the fact that I had to question, am I being catty, or do I know that this is a business standard, really is just what resonated with me. And it shows you that we do paint this fucking narrative. I think that the fucking business paints this narrative that, like, women come to the table being catty and being petty. And I don't necessarily know if I, at this point, agree with that statement, because I know if you just said it, you said fucking business is never personal for you. Business isn't personal for me either. So we can come together on a project we have before in the past and figure it out. You work through things for the common understanding that the objective is going to get accomplished. And I do believe that women can come together and do that. So I just feel like there's this like false narrative kind of getting tossed around, and then I feel like we perpetuate it because the false narrative is there. So
I think what's interesting when it comes down to the whole business component, a lot of people don't understand what it takes to be in business. So it's like the same way you clock in and go to work every day for somebody else from 9 to 5, you have to put in that same it's like that same work into whatever you're working towards.
right.
So it's not so much as I would rather have female partners, if you will, if the hustlers. I've had so many female partners where I wanted to kill them because I'm looking like an idiot running around handling the business, and you're here with your Gucci, like you came dressed
to the
I'm
motherfucking
wearing a
nine.
potato sack. I'm not mad, but it's not fair. Like I look like I look like I look like Oprah Winfrey, like The Color Fucking Purple, and this one over here is coming out. It's like it's the like I
Trying to
just
get in this
can't do
work
it. So
though. I swear.
I don't care. It's more important. So whether you're a female partner, it's more important to be on the same page and have your priorities in order. I don't have to be attractive looking at the back end as long as the check clears.
Okay. You heard it first here. She said she just needs the check to clear. If you guys are just tuned in, this is the Mahogany Stylez Experience. Thank you guys for joining. We are talking the state of women in hip hop. I've got entertainment manager, actress, activist Jenna Herche in the building. I've got some other special guests coming through as well. Jenna, what do you think is currently the overall tone of the state of women in hip hop? Are we advancing? Are we staying stagnant? Do you think there could be some improvement in what we are doing currently in hip hop?
How about this? I think the men need to step up, and I'll tell you what, the women are the ones who buy everything. So I've managed different artists, and they're like, I want to do this, and I go, you know what? Let me tell you a quick story. Have you ever heard of Beyonce and Destiny's Child? You have to look at what's out there when they pitch certain things. They could not put Beyonce out there against Toni Braxton. Like, who was right? So Destiny's Child was the better bet because SWV is sailing off to some, and Vogue is sailing off 702. Everybody's, digressing. Once things die down, they poor Aaliyah gone, right? Toni Braxton again, she's 106. Once people started phasing themselves out, now they bring Beyonce. So to be quite frank, it's a matter of what the market needs. That's the problem. People don't want to do the research. Women are the main consumers, period. We're spending my money, we're spending his money, we're spending everybody's. We're spending all of the money. We're in charge of the music that's being listened to, the movies being played, the food being bought. With that said, no one is appealing to the female demographic. Listen, I've been locked up for 3 months, right? I haven't heard, I don't want to hear, kill your moms, jump up the window. what? We're dying of COVID. I can't get like a little TLC, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
What about COVID babies? I can't make love to this shit. What is this? So people, the artists, don't realize they have to realize what's missing in the market. I need a guy to come on and tank it for me.
Yes.
You know,
Bring a real king of R&B back, honey. Yes. while we out here all claiming titles, I'm just saying.
Leave Robert out of this. All I'm saying is, you have to realize where the gaps are, and you need to insert. You can be a rapper, but find yourself a singing partner. Listen, bro, you're gonna sing the first 2 ballads, and I'm gonna come in on a Left Eye Lopez and sing
with a hot 16 real quick.
How about this? It's true. I was at a jam. This is Revolt years ago. I fell into it by mistake. It was Kevin Lyles and Leo Cohen was there talking. Leo Cohen owns. He doesn't give out your music career, and when I say that, I mean it, but I don't. He cares because Spotify tracks where you're performing. All he has to do is see how many fans you have. If you have X amount of fans established,
right,
he's going to scoop you up and pitch you where you need to be pitched. He knows exactly how many fans you have. It's a science. So whereas he makes it look like he's helping you, he's helping himself. And this is one thing we don't have figured out. What's your next question? I could be here all day. Pick a topic.
No, I want you to dish. I want it all. That, like I said, I was strategic about who I picked to dive in a little bit further. Let's talk about, we've touched on like the cattiness or whatever. Can you tell me a story about a situation where you had to choose yourself or to compromise? Have you ever been in that position as a woman in hip hop at all? Look, I'm not going to assume. I can't fucking assume anything. I
was always outnumbered.
To every guest.
It's never been something that's been in my control. And guess what? Like I don't have a lot of money, but I'll be honest. Even as a child, when I say child, when it comes down to investing, I never had a problem putting up money for something I saw potential in. Whereas people have on, $2,000 in Gucci and fake product, and I say that because people, oh, yo, Jay, I got this shit on sale. If your belt buckle was $300, it's goddamn tinfoil. I don't want that. Okay? The real shit is going to cost you about $7,000. You don't want to hurt their feelings, but I'm like, I don't have energy for it. So, when you past understanding like where the meat and potatoes are, you realize you better get your shit together because you're doing all of this for what? There's no message behind it. The biggest mistake for me had putting in too much effort, money, and energy into something that you know is never going to go anywhere. And it's your responsibility to stand up to the men in your camp, which is what it is. Mm-hmm. You're the lone voice. And that's every level. I don't care where you're dealing with. I don't care what it is. There's usually, not just me, one female who's vocal. Maybe there's somebody else, a loser in the corner, whatever. But there's usually one person, me, who's speaking up. Everybody else is very clear about the problem. However, if you can hold your own and all you have to do is be able to spit facts. Honest to God. Once you explain where you're coming from, if people don't understand it, I'm happy to withdraw my energy. I can't make you see what I think women are more calculated. Let's stalk your Instagram page. I know who you stuck the last 3 weeks. Get the fuck out of here. You think I can't figure this out promotional wise?
I've had to really take a step back and look at the bigger picture for myself and get really honest with myself or whatever and evaluate some things. At one point, I think I was fucking blinded by what the fuck was the fucking glitz and glamour as I'm talking very young. I'm talking 15, 16, 17 years old and wanting to be in the entertainment industry. And I quickly fucking learned very fast. Yeah, this is me. I'm talking from my own experience, from personal experience. Yeah. Okay. I had to take a step back and say, you know what? Money talks and bullshit walks for me. So when I come into a room, my value when we're talking about money, I'm talking money figuratively speaking, my value is going to speak for itself when I come into a room. You can't owe me any favors when I come into a room and I'm first meeting you. We need to come in a room on even territory and even playing field. So I've always been the type of artist and the type of businesswoman to move like that in the game. And so for me, that's allowed me to dip and dodge out of situations of having to compromise myself. And when I come into a room, my male counterparts and male figures in a room, they respect me. And you're gonna motherfucking respect me because I've put in my work, I've earned my keep, and you know that when I come into a room, I'm here to do business, and that's all. So I've had to take a step back and really, really look at what that looks like for everyone, because that's not the case for everyone. We know that there's this whole market. You talk about our buying potential and our buying power as the consumer and the dominant consumer in the game. Are we really using that? Are we really using what is our power and our influence to its fullest potential? I've got to evaluate that. Do you feel like we're using all of our influence and all of our power as this powerful driving force that you say? Do you feel like we're using all of that? Do you feel like women in hip hop are taking full advantage of that?
I would love to say yeah, but no, like I said before, I think it starts with the men, because whereas we have the purchasing power, the artists, men, are the ones putting the message out there. I guess that's my issue. Like, we can buy music because we like the beat, but the message doesn't often reflect us in a positive light.
Right.
That's my point. So it's like, you can have amazing music. What are you talking about? It's the content. So again, the content doesn't help us either, because we're talking about the production end, but let's talk about the receiving end. Whereas I'm talking about the buying component and the woman's purchasing power. What are we buying? What are we supporting? That's it. So
but we do, though.
Women,
like you said, we do.
The ones who are that key link. We are the key people to. But let's be honest. Sometimes we don't want to buy Gucci. We don't want to do Moncler. It's good for 2 weeks and then we're back. So whereas the women can turn it off. So yes, could our power be turned up? Yes. Not till we turn it off. And that's just the bottom line. Right now we're content. And it's like I have bigger things to worry about, like wearing gloves and a stupid mask to go get groceries. You understand what I'm saying? So people are getting away with a little bit more than they would normally get away with. We have bigger issues. Obviously, racism is like unreal right now. I've never seen shit like this. And we have bigger problems. But women are always in charge. We're in charge of the purse strings. We have the other big P going on. I just think that we do need to realize our power, utilize it a little bit more efficiently. But again, we do need a partnership. It's not a dictatorship. They don't respect us as it is. Certain women may have their men on check. Other women are getting their asses kicked. There's like 3 women dead in the closet somewhere that's been over the coronavirus. That's been 3 months where they have no escape. Like, domestic violence is real. We've seen that over this. This is what's going on. So a lot of people realize, like,
get deep, Jenna, get deep.
May be in control, but that's what men hate.
I love that you talk about what is our true power, but I like that you draw attention to that. Of course, obviously, there are some pretty heavy things going on in the world, and it's interesting to hear. This is going somewhere. I'm gonna lead you somewhere. It's interesting to hear about you talk about what is our power and where we are maximizing it and maybe where we're not optimizing as best that we should, right? I'm going to get into another story. So this week I had someone slide into my DMs. And if you saw a couple of months ago, I did the 420 virtual event in the midst of COVID, right? Just like everyone else, I'm using my time to try to figure out, what's in line with my brand, what's going on. So I do this 420 event. And if you've also been following my brand, I'm a marijuana enthusiast. I'm about to release a line of rolling papers called Hippie Sticks pretty soon. So that is a part of my brand that I represent. Yeah.
Sign me up.
You got it. I got you. They're organic. They're dope. It's really cool. I'll let you know all about it at the launch. But so yeah, so recently I posted in preparation for gearing up for like starting to sprinkle a little announcement teasers here and there about the launch and about what I got going on or whatever. I put up a live, not even I put up a live of me smoking live, and I don't often do that. I really don't often do that or whatever, but I took the opportunity and was kind of strategic about doing it in that moment. And a longtime friend of mine, a supporter, a male in my network, reached out and was like, yo, can you take down this video with you smoking or whatever? My daughter saw the video and said, oh, daddy, your friend smokes. And so I'm conscious that I put out signs, right? And so I know that my brand has influence and that I'm an influencer, and I know that my brand sends out messages, and I'm aware, but there's also a level of responsibility that I cannot carry just because I'm a female, woman, or staple in the entertainment business to educate every single girl that's, you know, out there and looking at me. So I try to be very representative of
between you and I,
from my brand perspective.
You're gonna be the best that you can be, but you're not responsible for being their role model.
Bullshit.
That's
if
their
you told me
parents'
you were
job.
shooting heroin, I would be concerned. I was at the 20th anniversary of the Million Man March in DC. Farrakhan is talking, and I'm literally 5 feet away from Snoop, and we're making eyes, which were, you know, Farrakhan's like, you know, we need to put down the guns. Me and Snoop are like this, shaking our heads like, yes, yes. We need to put down the violence. All this, you know, he went on and on. When he says we need to put down the loud. No. Me and Snoop looked at each other. We was like, yo, I think he lost us here. I don't think we're going to make it. You can't mess with the bud, because the bud is what makes a lot work for a lot of people. It's not the bud that's the problem. Don't blame the bud.
I recognize, so even like with my
I can't hear you.
Oh, you can't hear me? I'm like trying to like talk all the way up. I don't know why you can't hear me.
No, it's not that. It's just I don't know if it's me staggered or what, but it's like it's so slow, and maybe it's my fault. That's why I don't want to talk shit.
You
like,
sound crispy.
Like,
you actually sound very crispy. You sound great. I hope that I clear up for you as best as possible.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
It's fine. As long as you can hear me.
I can hear you. No, but you also need to hear me as well.
I know you got other people waiting, so I'm ready.
I recognize, even with the campaign that I'm doing, the hashtag Black models need more covers. That's for a purpose. That is because I recognize that I represent a large group of the population. I do represent that. However, I don't speak for every single person, and I also don't speak for every single household. My household looks how my household looks. Your household looks like how your household looks. So coincidentally, Jenna, guess what? I took the fucking video down. I took the video down. And the reason that I took the video down is because I ended up asking, well, how old is your daughter? And the person told me, well, my daughter's 7 years old. And instantly it hit different. When I thought that it was a teenage girl, it was different. And then when I realized that the girl was 7, then it hit different. But hold up. It came all the way back around again, because I was like, but hold up. You're letting your daughter look on Instagram at 7 years old. So if you're going to allow your daughter at 7 years old to look on Instagram, even if she's looking over your shoulder, then you have to be responsible for educating your daughter on what I'm doing, smoking or not smoking. I don't personally have an issue with marijuana. I will one day at some point have a conversation with my daughter about marijuana and educate my daughter to whatever that looks like when she's of the appropriate age to do so. In the in-between time, I'm not going to comfortably let her run around Instagram or see what's going on my Instagram, because it's not appropriate content for a 7-year-old. But I knew
about smoking when I was little. I found my parents' situation when I was about years old. I knew all about it. I was very comfortable talking to both my parents about it. My father actually helped me roll my first joint. And my daughter's aware. She knows what smoke is, and there's a different type of smoke. It's not cigarette smoke, because she used to cry, "You're gonna lose." You know, I don't need it. This is not a, NYC smoking fucking camp. I'm smoking a couple of joints, 2, 3, 6 a day type shit. But it's pot. And I do think that I would rather have my daughter feel comfortable to talk to me about it and ask about it. I'm giving her smoke opposed to shit laced and cold dipped in this and whatever else. I think that every parent has a responsibility to talk to this seriously about drugs. What have you done? What are you not going to do? What shouldn't you do? And sex is number one. That has to be discussed early. Like, my daughter's tired of me. I've been home for 3 months. She's 8, but we've discussed periods and breast and armpit hair. And it's very important for you to be engaged with your child, because if not, somebody else will be. And I watch enough Law and Order to understand. I make my kid watch it. Regardless to how busy you are, if you have time for you have a problem, whether it's a matter of you can't find her later on and she doesn't respect you. Regardless, that's our responsibility. Like, as women, that's my thing. Like, you can build up whoever. I'd rather take the time building up my child than building up some bum who I have no connection to and no children with, for you to sit here and lay on my couch while I'm paying the bills and you can't even cook and clean the fucking dishes. I'm good, boo. And that may sound like it's a shot. It is, and he's listening.
That's how I was feeling a couple times tonight. So I guess we're taking shots. Look, hold up. Let's drink. Both take a sip.
Let me go. I know
we're
you
taking
got
tonight.
so many people. Let me go.
What's her name?
This is Jenna Herche.
Let me say hi. Introduce myself to Jenna. I'm feeling what she talking about. Get your drinks done. Okay,
here you go. All right, so we're pulling into the live stream, you guys. Yes. We're doing a very special live stream.
I love the Mahogany. I can't hear you, booby. I love you. Thank you so much for this. Tell me later on when you're done with this. I love you.
Okay. All right. So we have just changed gears. We're still talking the state of women in hip hop. We're doing a very special live stream. I'm out and about doing a location. On episode 3, we're talking the state of women in hip hop. Thank you, Jenna Herche. We will connect after. I know we were having some technical challenges, but we're still here. We're keeping the conversation going. We're talking women in cattiness. I have got my sister, who we shared many experiences in this hop journey together, and have went on our own different paths and came back around and circled the block. I've got rock rapper, songstress, boss, CEO, motherfucking YouTube fucking guru ass, fucking everybody, boss, founder, Flyucci.com founder, my sister in entertainment, but in real life too. Yes. Heidi Flyucci is in the building, y'all, and she's gonna join this conversation and sip some of this tea as well, honey.
Yes. What's up, you guys? I am Heidi Flyucci. You can find me at King Heidi Flights on Instagram, and you can find me here at Heidi Flyucci TV, you guys. What was the last artist name?
So that was Jenna Herche. She's actually Split Star's manager. She's a music manager, and actress and entertainment manager. So she's got a lot of insight.
Yeah, she said it was something she said that we bonded over. What was it she said?
She talked about, well, she touched on a couple of things or whatever. And like I said, Jenna's got a pretty strong opinion. She talked about where as women, if we can't come together to work commonly on a project or whatever, then we're probably just in the wrong business as a whole. Right. Like, this is not the game for you to not be thick-skinned and come to the business with emotions and feelings or whatever. This is, we're here to get it done, handle it, and no feelings is
music
involved.
Not having substance.
Right.
That's what she was talking about. I really was feeling that.
Oh, she talked about the male. She talked about male music not having substance, but as women, as the consumers, us buying into that lack of substance from male artists, which is an interesting take, because last episode we talked about lack of substance from female artists. So we didn't really talk about lack of substance from male artists, but we are, as the consumers, women as the consumers, we do buy into it or whatever. So not only do we get to create and define the messages, but we also do buy into the shit. We buy into the bullshit. Heidi, let me start off this. Like, I want to just dive in, and I pulled you onto tonight's conclusion as well, because I wanted to take a deeper dive than what we've been doing thus far. What do you feel like is the overall take of women in entertainment, whether on the entertainment side or on the business and in the back end? You're on both sides of the coin. So what do you think it looks like? Are we winning or not?
Oh, I do believe we are starting to win more and more now. Things are changing for women. But yeah, the question was kind of.
It was a lot. It was kind of deep, or not
It was
really.
kind of like, are we winning?
Okay. So you feel like yes, we are winning.
No, I feel like that we are winning more than usual
than what we had
been.
Okay,
but it should be 20 hot female rappers, and it's not. You can find 20 hot male rappers.
Right.
So, are we winning? I don't know. Are we making moves? Yes.
Okay. Cool. So we're making progress. So that's been the general consensus that I've taken away from the last 2 episodes while we've done this series on the state of women in hip hop, is that we are further along than where we have been, but there's still plenty of room for growth and improvement for us to grow. Do you feel like women can work together in entertainment? Do you feel like we can successfully work together, or do you feel like we bring our bullshit to the table and women tend to get emotional? Do you feel like that is a false narrative, or do we really do that as women in the entertainment business?
Yeah, we do all of that, but that's what makes us great. You will find someone eventually that you can work with, you can argue with, you can disagree with, and y'all might make some hot, passionate ass shit in that studio.
Yes.
Women are passionate creatures. That's just how we are. That goes without saying. But I do think that there's cattiness because the industry forces us to be catty. You'll have 2 artists, they don't even know each other.
Right.
Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B.
Okay.
Then tomorrow, Cardi B don't like Megan. and so it's like, what the fuck? And we know Megan Thee Stallion come in peace. She said it. She said
she did.
She fuck with everybody.
She makes it very clear.
Right. She ain't coming for nobody unless they fucking come for her.
Right.
You know, you got to respect some shit like that. So I feel like, yes, there are catty people. There are female artists that feels like they are the alpha, they are the queen, they are the only female on the track. They ain't working with no bitch, okay? And if they do, it's for a coin, and they still ain't gonna really, promote it or give their all. It was this one artist, up and coming independent artist wanted to work with her. I can't think of her name right now. Okay. She sent her the money and everything. They did everything behind the scenes on Instagram. Okay. She sent her the money. And the girl took the money and never did the track. She sent her the track for her to drop her little 12 bars, 16 bars, 4 bars, whatever it was. And the girl just ran off with her money. Now, of course, she exposed her on YouTube.
Was that some scamming shit, or was this because she was hating on the other artists? Just because she was hating on the other artists, or she could have been some scamming.
The girl could have been hot, and she was like, "Fuck this bitch, I ain't getting on her track." Or she probably just wanted her money.
And I think that there are some of all of that running around in the game. I think that's the nature of the business. And 2 things that I've taken away in this business is, like I said just now when I said to Jenna, for me, I did receive everything that she said. And my takeaway from that is that for me, I've established myself on this premise that money talks and bullshit walks. So I don't walk with my pussy. I walk with my bag. You understand? So my briefcase flips open when I come into the room. Right. And that's what I'm here to do. So then I don't find myself getting tried in some situations where maybe earlier I didn't come to the game confidently knowing that. And maybe if there was another female artist or female mentor figure for me in hip hop, because we didn't have that, sis, coming up. I didn't have nobody to motherfucking, well, I take that back. Let me not take away from the fact that I have some strong female rap artist influencers on my childhood or whatever, but I didn't have that directly for anyone to say as I shaped my career.
I never had a female that was like, bitch, I'm gonna ride with you. I'm fucking with your music, bitch. You never.
So to be able to lend that hand to another female artist coming up, it's been rare. Things I've learned from you and taken from me, and I know vice versa or whatever. But somebody said on the last episode or whatever, as females coming up, we are the face. So everybody working to be on in the game right now, the women artists, it's our time to shine, but what the fuck are we going to do with our opportunity? So it's good to hear that
we are trying to change the game to where women aren't so aggressive or catty toward each other. We want to create a movement where we uplift each other. It's like it's 2020. If we don't start uplifting each other, the men will continue to have control.
Which is what Jenna was just touching on.
And
Jenna
if the men have control, then they will always pin us against each other. It will be one queen.
Right.
It'll be one queen, okay? So, but then not always, everything has circumstances, but overall, it's a male-driven industry. And as far as we've noticed so far, they tend to want one queen.
I think that there's room
every
for
once
us.
in a while you get a Foxy Brown and a Lil Kim at the same damn time. But that's rare.
I feel like like we've gotten that often over time. We've seen that story come up over time.
It's starting to get better.
It's coming
like,
up.
Like maybe Doja Cat meeting Nicki, but now they fucking up their image with all this.
All the other shit, right? Okay, that's a whole other wave, whole other episode or whatever. Yeah. But I feel like there is room for us to, as women, when women come together in entertainment, is to humble ourselves.
Yes.
What I'm taking away from the conversations that I've had and from my experience yesterday, with my interaction with the female artist that I was talking to yesterday, that led me to spark this conversation as well and bring it up on today's conclusion episode of the State of Women in Hip Hop. I feel like there's room for women when they're dealing with each other to humble themselves, to get one accord. Like Jenna said also, is to know that there's a motherfucking common objective. Are we here to get the bag? Are we here to collect the check or not? And if we can do that more so as women in hip hop, I feel like that would help advance us even forward. And like you said, not give leverage for the male dominated industry to pin one of us against the other. I feel like there wouldn't only be 3 or 4 mainstream pop and female artists.
Alpha females, most female rappers are alpha
females. We talked about that.
You got to be confident. You got to be somewhat of an alpha to go out there and be a hip hop artist in the first place,
right?
Because you're speaking. It's almost like you're a preacher or an evangelist or something. You're either teaching, something,
or telling a story, or telling the story.
You're telling a story. I don't care if it's sucking dick or fight the powers. You're telling a story. But with that being said, females are learning more now, I think, to that we have to make a change. If we don't make the change, nothing is going to change. Now, I was about to hit on something, but it slipped my mind. But it was someone. It'll come back to me. I'll bring it up.
It'll come back around. So we talked about compromising as female artists on our last episode. Heidi, I'm gonna ask you. I did get the chance to ask Jenna fully, but I want to get your take on it also. Do you feel like as a female artist in the game, you've ever had to compromise yourself? And your story is different. Like, you got a boss ass bitch story, which a lot of females don't. And a lot of females don't. You know what I'm saying? They don't have you're naturally a boss. You're naturally a CEO. There are a lot of other female rap artists in the game that don't have CEO mentality. And I think that there's a lack of that.
But I grew into that. I learned that along the way. I feel like that a lot of us, I went from, you can chase your tail in the music industry. And I didn't know anything about branding, being a brand.
Okay.
That was one of the things that saved me from myself, because not only are we hip hop artists, music is addicting. It's just like any drug, whether you're making money or not, and you love this, and once you get bit by the music bug, you're bit.
Right.
It don't care if you make some money. It don't care if you get a deal. You're gonna keep creating. You're gonna keep going to the studio. You're gonna keep putting into it. It is somewhat of an addiction as well.
Is it a fame addiction?
Because
is it a
it's the addiction of winning. And it's the addiction of being heard, just fucking being heard and feeling like your shit is the shit. Even if other people don't think so. Some people like these motherfuckers out there probably don't like me. These motherfuckers out there probably don't like your music. But until you decide that you're done with it, like, think about it. It's a lot of artists out there.
I'm gonna never be done with it.
That probably ain't no good. But as long as you love it, it can become an addiction. You do have to know if, what's the words? I don't want to discourage anybody, but you do have to know if you're talented or not. Like, some people don't know.
Humble yourself. That's what I just said. Humble yourself.
Yes. Some people do need writers.
Right.
Like I used to be hard on Cardi B.
Okay.
But
we
now
touched
I'm
on
not
this.
that hard
Right,
on her no more. Because I'm thinking, well, shit, if a motherfucker would have wrote me a hit song, I mean, write me a fucking hit. Let's do this shit.
Let's do this shit.
Right. But I come from the Lil' Kim era where you hustle, you from the streets, you put that leg work in, you write. Now we know Biggie wrote for Lil' Kim too, but we also know that Lil' Kim
wrote her shit as well. Right.
Exactly.
We're from that school. You know, T Quest talked about that on the last episode. Shout out to T Quest. She talked about that on the last episode, but she also said that she had interviewed Cardi personally, and Cardi really spent a lot of time talking about that she did put in the grind. She did put in the grunt work or whatever in order to put herself in position, in order to be able to get to the position of having a ghostwriter and having people to back her. So there was groundwork to be done.
Well, but what kind of groundwork did she put in?
Let's talk about that now. Now let's bring the conversation there, sis. You posed such a motherfucking great question to segue us. As a matter of fact, you didn't answer my last question. So first, let me ask you this. Do you feel like, and stick to this question so we can move on to the next question. I want to take us somewhere. This is the Mahogany Stylez experience. We're in our corner pocket of my universe, and we're talking the state of women in hip hop. Heidi, as a rap artist, as a CEO, as an entrepreneur, as a boss, as all of these other fucking things that have come along with the Heidi Flyucci brand as it's grown, do you feel like you've ever compromised your womanhood in this business?
Yes. Girl. Yes. Fuck yes. Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Cool. Thank you for just laying it out there. I feel like every single woman that I posed the question to during this series has all said the same exact thing. We've got the same general consensus.
My first record deal,
talk about it, sis.
My
Take
first
us there.
record deal. Okay, you guys, I got it when I got into the music industry. I was a dancer.
Okay, I talked about dancing as a part of this series as well. So
you did.
Spit your take. Spit your take. Yeah.
Okay. So I met the owner of my label at a strip club.
Okay.
So my whole thing was, okay, I got the record deal, right? I got the record deal. I got the $1 million record deal. I'm independent now, by the way. Okay. I also had to sue that same motherfucker.
Shout out to all the independent artists
who did not want to let me out that contract. I was signed into a terrible contract. Get you a lawyer, even if it's pro bono. Get you a lawyer. So I did. I signed a shitty contract, but I did get paid. See, a lot of people, they sign shitty contracts and they don't get paid. I actually did get the money, and I didn't have to pay shit back. But I was also a shelved artist. I was put on the shelf. But anyways, the way I met the guy and I got into the game, it was like, I'm going to sign you, but while you're under contract, you can't have no boyfriends. You can't be talking about you in love with somebody you finna get married. He wanted me to
sign over your life.
Commit to staying single as long as he was funding me, as long as I was signed to his record deal. And I did it for a little while. And then I started doing shit that, he didn't know about. But that was one of the things. This cat, he really wanted to control me. You know what I'm saying? So, I took the motherfucking money.
Okay. Speak on it. Speak your truth.
I took the motherfucking money. But see, my story is so different, y'all. I came from the strip club, hustling. Baby, I walked through the door. I got this motherfucker to give me just straight cash off the bag. We ain't gonna talk too many numbers. Gave me a big bag, signed the deal. But in his eyes, it was still like a sexual undertones. My talent wasn't getting the respect I thought it deserved, but he was like, I'm giving you money. So fuck your talent, because really this ain't about your talent. I'm giving you the money that you would make if you was a signed artist. Right. You see, if you was a famous artist, or if you was on, because I was signed.
But there was still something to dangle in front of you.
It
anyway.
was.
There was a string attached. It comes with motherfucking strings attached.
If I dated, I would be very paranoid. I would, like, if I had someone come to my crib, I would be like, Lord, what if this motherfucker come over here? Like, I always had to be, it was always taboo to have a man. I always had to be single.
Okay.
That was some fuck shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for me, I talked about on episode 1 of the State of Women in Hip Hop, or part 1 of the State of Women in Hip Hop. I talked about how I chose to go the other direction, Heidi. I did dance. I was a dancer at 2 of the largest strip clubs here in the Metro Atlanta area. But I wanted very much for my stripper life to be completely separate from my music brand,
Right.
because I wanted to be respected for the music. I didn't want to be known as the dancer turned rapper, or I didn't want to be recognized as the girl who maybe could rap, but I know shorty dance at such and such club though. So but for me, I always questioned, did that hinder me in my career? What if I would have went in and met the owner who would have funded my career? I would have quote unquote been on a lot longer, right?
Well, did you have that opportunity though? This was all by chance.
So for
I
me,
happened to meet a motherfucker that came in a strip club, and it literally changed my life, when a lot of people have never even had their first big deal. But have you ever had someone that met you while you were a dancer and then offered you that deal that you've been waiting on? So you can't say, it's kind of like, have you been in that situation?
I mean, I was strategic. I did that on purpose. What I wanted to do was fund myself. I wanted to be able to just make enough money to fund myself and fund my career. Early on in my career, not realizing how much money necessarily needed to go into investing into my career. But I wanted to fund myself so that I didn't have to deal with the strings attached. I just really made a strong, conscious, intentional decision about not letting anybody take my career, which was the thing that was closest to me. That's why I was willing to sacrifice.
I didn't know anything about the music industry. I came straight from stripping. I made a song, and I met someone who put me in the game, but I didn't know nothing about the music industry.
Not the motherfucking Cardi B story, the Heidi Flyucci story.
Yeah, I wasn't music. Like, I didn't know about the entertainment business. I didn't know about royalties, mechanical royalties. See, you probably knew about all that when you came in. I didn't. I was just like, I got this dream. I want to do this music. I met this CEO of his own company. But also, go ahead. I lost my thought again.
No,
it'll come back to me.
I did. You're right. I am college educated. I chose to pursue college.
Yeah, see, I didn't do college.
And for me, that was like, let me just make sure that I get to be an entertainer, and I go to school in order to make sure that I'm chasing my dream and I live this dream regardless of what.
Right. So when you don't know about the music industry, you trust the person that you're signed to. See, I didn't know anything about the industry. This man is just telling me what he's going to do for me.
Right.
I'm not thinking that he just lying, or whatever the case may be, or I'm gonna get this fucked up deal, because I was getting the Skrilla. You see what I'm saying? It was kind of like me thinking, okay, I got a record deal, and thinking that everything is okay. I don't have to do anything else, but just go to the studio. Right, like I've always written my own music.
Right.
But I didn't understand the ins and outs. Like, to this day, I do not own Heidi Fly.
Wow.
I own Heidi Flyucci because my record label owns Heidi Fly.
Talk about it.
Now that I have my own clothing line, it's under Flyucci, and also I have Flights, which is my eyewear and fragrances. But because I was dumb over 20 years ago when I got my first deal, he trademarked everything Heidi Fly, even though I still say I'm Heidi Fly because I'm fucking Heidi Fly. But when I do business, I do not put Heidi Fly on anything, because I don't want to take any chances of anybody Tales of the Crypt waking up out the grave trying to take shit from me. So that's what I learned later on as an independent artist. I don't make the mistakes that I made when I signed that fucked up deal. You see what I'm saying? So now I can teach.
I don't mean to cut you off.
No,
Let me speak to the young female artists out there that are watching. And shout out to everybody for tuning in. Let me just stop really quickly before I even dive into my little deep dive and say thank you for viewing, and thank you for joining me tonight. Episode 3 of the Mahogany Stylez Experience. We're lit. We're only getting better from here. It's been a super journey so far on the state of women in hip hop right now. And we're just keeping the conversation going. And I want to use this opportunity to encourage every young artist out there, every young female artist out there. The game is yours. You be in control of your game. You take our lessons, take the lessons of my guests, take the lessons of my story, and learn and take these lessons and make it your own. But I encourage you and I empower you to educate yourself. Get the information. I've been reading music books. I know one of my viewers can agree with me right now. Thank you for watching. That you've been reading music books for a long time. I've been reading music education and music business books for a long time as well. So every opportunity that I got to go to a conference or got to meet somebody in the business that I could learn from or connect with or grow from, I did, to educate myself, because I never wanted a motherfucker to tell me what the fuck to do with my music. And that was super important to me. I sacrificed, or I don't know if sacrifice is the most appropriate fucking word. I took alternate fucking routes to fund my fucking music career. And I made that decision and that choice, but I made those decisions and those choices based on them being on my own fucking terms.
To pay for yourself?
I did, yeah. I danced to pay for to support my brand. I danced to support my music brand. And again, it was just important for me not to mix the two, but on my own terms. And I financed myself, again, for me, because the strings, I didn't want the strings, the no strings attached. So if you are a young female artist out there and you are watching, I encourage you to educate yourself. And then second to educating yourself is, as a female artist, a female influence in this business, move silently. Let your power be silent.
And let me get him a jewel that I wish I would have.
Drop this gem, sis. Heidi Fly still in here dropping gems. She's going over her history.
I'm gonna be in
and dropping gems as well.
So you guys, I want to, and also for your up and coming, I want to drop a jewel for you. You see how she said she was dancing or whatever to fund her talent.
By the way, I own 6 or 7 businesses today.
Right. This is something I wish that I would have known earlier in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I had plenty of money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm more of a thousandaire now. I used to be a super thousandaire then. You know, the million come over time. So, but I wish I would have knew about payola.
Mm-hmm.
I would have bought radio time.
Mm-hmm.
Buy radio time. If you're gonna hustle, I ain't saying hustle drugs. I ain't saying that.
Trap what you trap.
If you gonna hustle,
get it.
If you gonna strip, I ain't telling nobody to strip.
Right.
If you gonna hoe, I ain't telling nobody to hoe.
Get it how you live.
Take the money and buy radio time. Get your single and pay them to spin your shit. But that's how you get known. That's the key that I did not know. Okay.
Thank you for that, Jewel. We love you, sis. You guys, that was Heidi Flyucci. You guys can check out her stuff at flights.com. Flyucci.com. I'm going to actually drop that in the comments. Matter of fact, I actually put it in the description already. So let me drop it in the comment section right quick. But also, before I get out of here, I do want to touch on something else to really segue into a deeper part of the conversation that we haven't really gotten to address yet, and it's heavy. I share my truth. You guys know that I promise to give you and deliver all of my truth, all of my real, raw, good, bad, ugly, and in between, because this is my reality. This is the Mahogany Stylez experience, and this is a part of my journey. So I give you my truth and I live my truth so that people can take it and learn from it and grow from it. That being said, Heidi and I, when we talk about what we didn't have mentor figures and female figures to kind of show us the ropes when we were younger and show us, girl, sis, this is the game. This is how it's done. And so it's easy.
Be cool to be haters or against each other. Now that shit ain't cool no more. People unite. You see Miss Mulatto, you know, and what's her name? The girl from the West, Sweetie.
Sweetie.
People are linking up. Females are linking up.
Yeah.
We not on that hater shit no more.
All the hating shit at all.
That shit used to be cool though. It used to be cool to be a rival, you know. But no, that shit ain't cute no more, especially in the times we live in.
No. We've grown. I think that people are about their bag. Don't let nobody
shit on you though now, sis. That's different. Speak on that, sis.
I say live and create your career on your own terms is ultimately what I'm telling you. Create this shit, live the dream, paint the dream, like I always say, but do so on your own terms. Heidi and I were talking, we were having a conversation a little while back as it pertains to the state of women in hip hop. And I'm gonna touch on this as well. It's important. We can't not discuss it. Let's talk about the women who do use alternative measures to get on. We don't speak enough about that. What you guys see are your favorite female artists iced out, half naked, hypersexualized, and you don't know what the fuck they had to do to get on the Shade Room that day, or the cover of your favorite magazine, or on that video, or at your favorite artist concert, or on stage, or on a feature with your favorite rapper. You don't know what the fuck they had to do to get there. And so when I ask all of the female guests that we've had on the series on the state of women in hip hop, if they've ever been compromised in their career, so far nobody has touched on the reality that there are a lot of women that compromise a lot of motherfucking things to make it in this game. They compromise themselves, they compromise their bodies, they compromise their souls. And it's not just women artists. This game will eat you up and spit you the motherfuck out. Just like that, and not even think twice about it. But I find that women really have that to face when they step into the trenches as a female artist in the game. And we paint this picture about it being super glamorous, and you don't know how many dicks that a female artist had to suck, fuck, lick, flip, or twist over to get in the position where she is. And we don't talk about it enough. We don't spend enough time talking about the reality of that.
And that's why people fell in love with Cardi.
Because Cardi lived her truth. She said it out loud.
She did tell the truth.
Yeah.
She did, but the writing part, she lied.
Mm-hmm,
but she told the truth. Nikki didn't.
Right.
Nikki owed us more.
Right.
And Nikki cocked blocked for about 10 years.
Yep.
I love her. I forgive her. But I'm just saying, even she's starting to unite with motherfuckers.
I feel like she don't got no other fucking choice, because she fucking, again, the two things that I said on the show, let the fucking record state, be humble in the game as a female artist. Show the rest of the motherfucking world that we can come together and work together as motherfucking women. Play the game on your terms. Don't let a motherfucker hold fucking purse strings over you with your career. It's your game, your world, your dream. Paint the motherfucker how you want it to be. I say that. You're right. We didn't get that. Some of our favorite female artists cheated us out of the reality of this is how the fuck I had to get on. They didn't talk about how they had to suck a dick at the end of their studio session. They didn't talk about how 4 niggas had to run a fucking train on them in order for their album to come out, or in order for their fucking single to get fucking dropped. And you know what? I chose not to go that fucking direction, so it's taking me a little bit motherfucking longer to get on, so to speak. But you know what? When I ask myself, Heidi, have I compromised myself at times? The things that I have compromised, okay, I was a motherfucking dancer. I could fucking sleep with myself at night. And I'm still where I am. I'm still on my motherfucking journey, and I'm still living my fucking course. And again, I remained humble, and I played the game on my motherfucking terms.
If I'm single, just like these dudes, they single, I'm single, I'm fucking with a boss. If that's what I want to do, I will. But if I don't want to do that, I won't.
Okay.
That's what it's called being a woman.
So I encourage every female influencer, rap artist, boss, business mogul in the entertainment game, in any game, in any industry. Trust yourself. Live humbly. Let's spin back around. I'm gonna circle back around to the beginning of our episode or whatever, because I feel like it's a good full circle moment to kind of take us on our course for the ends and wrapping up the state of women in hip hop. And I love talking about this. I could literally probably continue to talk about fucking the state of women in hip hop for my entire fucking podcast, but I have a lot more to offer and a lot more to serve you up. But last night, when I found myself in the encounter with the up-and-coming female artists whose name we won't even reference, the game will teach them who they are. I don't even need to reference them in any capacity at all. But what they did was showcase exactly what an example of a woman with a bad, nasty attitude in this business looks like. And having a fucking bad attitude in this business will be your hindrance. It's not going to get you anywhere. As a woman, walk with grace. As a real woman, walk with grace. Walk with confidence. Walk with your power that God granted you with, and move accordingly with that. Don't compromise yourself in this game. Don't let this game tell you how your reality is supposed to look. Don't let a motherfucker tell you how your reality is supposed to look. Don't let your fans tell you how your reality is supposed to look. You paint the motherfucking picture. It's your game. It's your world. That being said, we are moving into another series. It looks like we were supposed to have QNova join us. QNova, I'm not exactly sure what happens, but I promise at some point we will circle back around and pull QNova back into another conversation. This has been a really, really dope series on the state of women in hip hop. I think we've dived into a lot of different topics surrounding the state of women in hip hop. I think that overall I take away that the general consensus is that women are winning right now in hip hop, and that's a win for us. So shout out to all of the boss women in hip hop that are rocking and rolling and keeping it moving for all of us, and bringing another fellow sister up along the way as you go. I drop those gems on you, and I drop those jewels on you to give you guys insight, to keep you empowered, and to share my truth and my reality so you guys can grow and learn from it. Next week, we are moving into a brand new series. I invite you guys to continue to subscribe to my YouTube channel, catch the live stream, download in case you're not able to catch the live stream every Tuesday and Thursday, Tuesdays from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. and every Thursday from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're fully lit. Like I said, the Mahogany Stylez experience is going to bring you a little some of everything. Your girl's been around the globe. I've got a lot of shit to say. I've got a lot to talk about. We're moving to a brand new series, so make sure you guys tune in. If you guys haven't already, make sure you guys follow me on all of my social media platforms. You can follow me at Ms. Mahogany, at Mahogany Stylez on Instagram, at Mahogany Stylez on Twitter. Don't be shy on Twitter. I tweet back. And make sure you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm sorry?
The importance of a PR team before you go.
Oh, okay. How do you wanted me to reference the importance of a PR team as well before I go? So I'll share a little bit of insight. Heidi talked about not necessarily knowing all of the ins and outs of her brand as a young artist coming into the game. Number one, as an artist coming into the game, you want to get your team together across the board. You want to get your PR team together. You want to get your engineering team together. You want to get your videography team together. But the importance of having a public relations team, your public relations team is going to be the group of individuals that helps you tell your story or tell your brand story to the world. So get your team together across the board. If you are a young artist coming into the game, get your team together across the board. As far as PR, your public relations is going to give you opportunities to get red carpet appearances, get red carpet opportunities, be seen and featured in blogs, and pretty much get the streets and the industry buzzing and talking about you. So while your fans are busy talking about you, your PR team is who helps to get the industry insiders talking about you and buzzing as well, so that you can continue to help grow your brand visibility. So that's the importance of a PR team. Back to it, you guys, make sure you follow me at Mahogany Stylez on Instagram and Twitter, Mahogany Stylez with the Z. Make sure you continue to vote for me. You guys have been showing me so much love for the 2020 Maxim Magazine's competition. Continue to vote for me, you guys. Top 15 weekends this week. As a matter of fact, I think it ends tonight. So you guys make sure you continue to get your warrior votes in for me. I have dropped the link in the comment section, and I'm going to keep the conversation going. Hopefully you guys are enjoying yourself so far. I am having a blast. It is a motherfucking journey and a roller coaster ride each and every episode here on the Mahogany Stylez experience. Very special thank you to Jenna Herche for tuning in and hopping on while you did. I appreciate you, and we'll talk in a little bit. Thank you to Heidi Flyucci for the opportunity for me to grace her studio as a guest of her studio today, and also for hopping on the conclusion of the state of women in hip hop. QNova, we salute you, and ultimately we would love to have you on our show when the opportunity presents itself. I know QNova had a studio session tonight, so hopefully at some point we will have her back onto our show. You guys, let me know what you want to hear from me on the Mahogany Stylez experience. Get in touch with us. Shoot me an email at themahoganystyles@gmail.com. If you guys like what you see and you want me to continue to bring you dope content, please support the channel. You can support the channel by subscribing to the channel. And if you're interested in sponsoring a segment or sponsoring an entire show, get at us. Thank you for supporting me, and thank you for joining my corner pocket of the universe. It's been real. I'm the Princess of Hip Hop, Mahogany Stylez. I'll see you guys next Tuesday, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. as we move into another brand new series. Thank you. Peace, love, light, and blessings. This is it. Stop all the press. Your girl has some shit to say. Some of you may know me as Mahogany Stylez, the rapper, Mahogany Stylez, the boss, but this is Mahogany Stylez, the voice behind it all. I'm bearing it all, speaking my truth, whether who like it or not. I'm the princess of hip hop, raw and uncut and unfiltered. It's time to get vulnerable. It's time to get disruptive. It's time to connect. This is the Mahogany Stylez experience. I'm living it up. Either you hating or faking or grinding with us.